Follow us for all our social media handles for Facebook, for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, all for Radio Afiju. Where men dey, men mount.
Wherever you're listening or watching Radio Afiju, the time is 3 p.m.
First, a look at the highlights. PCN shuts down 666 pharmacies, medicine shops in Kaduna. The United Nations Security Council extends sanctions on Sudan until September 2025. John Bon Jovi praised for talking woman off bridge. Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on Radio Afinju. My name is Pearl Durotoye. The news in detail. The Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, PCN, has shut down 666 unlicensed medicine shops in Kaduna State for operating illegally and breaching the National Drug Distribution Guidelines. This enforcement operation, which began earlier this week, targeted open drug markets and other locations where medicine was sold without proper registration and oversight. The initiative is part of the PCN's effort to ensure safe and effective medicine distribution, safeguard public health, and prevent the sale of potentially harmful substances. At a press conference on Thursday in Kaduna, Director of Enforcement at PCN, Stephen Esumobi, reported that the operation encompassed 895 premises. This included 75 pharmacies, 514 patent medicine shops, and 306 illegal medicine outlets. Esumobi explained that 666 of these premises were sealed, including 47 pharmacies, 313 patent medicine shops, and 306 unlicensed medicine stores. The closures were due to various violations such as selling medicine in open markets, operating without council registration, inadequate documentation, poor storage conditions, and selling ethical products without a pharmacist's supervision. He highlighted that the unregistered medicine shops in Kaduna State posed a significant risk to public health due to improper storage conditions, which could lead to the degradation of medicines and make them unsafe for consumption. Esumobi assured that the PCN is prepared to take further action against non-compliant medicine dealers, but also mentioned that the council would assist shop owners willing to meet regulatory standards. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has extended the collection of permanent voter cards, PVCs, to September 15 in Edo State, preparatory to the state's governorship election on September 21. INEC Commissioner Sam Olumekun announced this in Benin, noting that the extension would begin on September 13. Olumekun said that stakeholders unanimously appealed to the Commission to consider an extension of the period for the collection of PVCs to enable more voters to collect their cards. The chairman of the Commission, Mahmood Yakubu, and Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, addressed the stakeholders and responded to their electoral and security concerns. He urged all registered voters who had yet to collect their PVCs to seize the opportunity of the extension to do so. He said that there would be no collection by proxy in line with the Commission's policy. Less than 2 hours before the scheduled signing of a peace accord between political parties ahead of the September 21 governorship election, the All Progressives Congress, APC, announced its refusal to sign the agreement. This decision came just 12 hours after Governor Godwin Obaseki, while meeting with the chairman of the Presidential Peace Committee, Abdulsalami Abubakar, expressed concerns that his party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, might also withhold his signature. Obaseki cited the lack of confidence in both the police and the Independent National Electoral Commission as reasons for their hesitancy. At a press conference held at the APC Secretariat, party spokesman Jarrett Tenebe outlined their reasons for not signing the peace accord. He criticized the authorities for their handling of a recent incident in which Police Inspector Honor Ako, who was attached to APC candidate Monday Okpebolo, was shot and killed along Airport Road. Tenebe alleged that instead of pursuing justice, Obaseki was allegedly sheltering the perpetrators in the government house and making inflammatory statements that undermined his role as the chief security officer of the state. Tenebe also detailed various attacks on the APC campaign team in different local government areas, including Akoko Edo, Esako Central, and Eson West, while they were mobilizing supporters. He accused several PDP chieftains of publicly threatening violence without repercussions and claimed that the party's petitions to the police, which included names of suspects, had been ignored. The Kano State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, has reported that 49 people have died and 226 communities have been severely affected by floods and windstorms across 27 local government areas in the state since January 2024. Isiaku Abdullahi Kubarachi, the executive secretary of SEMA, revealed these figures during a briefing with journalists in Kano on Wednesday evening. He reminded the public that the Nigerian Meteorological Agency had previously warned of a high risk of flooding in 14 of the state's local government areas. Abdullahi Kubarachi reported that the floods had destroyed 6,583 homes, impacting 38,814 individuals. He noted that SEMA had acted swiftly, visiting affected areas to offer condolences and distribute relief supplies on behalf of the Kano state government. He commended Governor Abba Yusuf for his support in providing logistics and other assistance to alleviate the victims' hardships. The executive secretary also urged residents to avoid building on waterways and to maintain clear drainage systems to mitigate future flooding. Abdullahi Kubarachi called on affluent individuals to contribute relief materials to support the flood victims and assured the public that SEMA would persist in its efforts to protect lives and property. The Owa of Obokun of Ijesha land, Oba Gabriel Adekunle Aromolaron, has passed away. The Asiwaju of Ijesha land, Olayinka Fasuyi, confirmed this in a tribute on his social media page that the monarch has passed on. Sources indicate that the monarch had been unwell for some time, with his condition worsening over the past week before he was hospitalized. In the wake of his death, there has been a heavy presence of security personnel around the palace, including uniformed police officers and Department of State Services (DSS) operatives. Traditional rites customary for the passing of a king are reportedly being observed. Oba Adekunle, who began his reign on February 20, 1982, hails from the Aromolaron family. His reign lasted 42 years. Away from Nigeria, the United Nations Security Council adopted a draft resolution on Wednesday that extends the sanctions on Sudan until September 2025. Renewing the sanctions measures will restrict the movement of arms into Darfur and sanction individuals and entities contributing to or complicit in destabilizing activities of Sudan. All of this is critical to helping end the escalating conflict, alleviate humanitarian catastrophe, and put Sudan back on the path to stability and security. The United Nations Security Council unanimously adopted a draft resolution 11 September extending the Sudan sanction regime, including targeted sanctions such as asset freezes, travel bans, and an arms embargo until 12 September 2025. The resolution is a technical rollover of measures previously renewed by Resolution 2676 in March 2023. In other parts of Africa, Botswana and an American biotech firm, Ginkgo Bioworks, have partnered to conduct pathogen surveillance of the country's entry points. Health officials say the proactive move is meant to safeguard public health as the world faces emerging disease threats. Botswana introduced Mpox screening last month for travelers at its entry points. In a statement Wednesday, Ministry of Health spokesperson Christopher Nyanga said a pathogen monitoring program is critical to detecting similar emerging health threats. Mbashi Mazwiduma, a public health expert, said the pathogen surveillance program will complement existing strategies to prevent disease threats. Through the collaboration, Boston-based Ginkgo Bioworks will work with the Ministry of Health to collect and monitor travelers' samples. Nasal swabs will be used to collect the samples. Yanga said testing will be done on a voluntary, anonymous basis. But Mazwiduma said voluntary participation in the pathogen monitoring program could hinder effective disease detection. Botswana and Ginkgo Bioworks previously collaborated in the 2022 pathogen monitoring program to detect new and emerging COVID-19 variants. During the same year, Botswana was credited with the discovery of COVID-19 variant Omicron. In Asia, Malaysian police have rescued 402 children and teenagers that they suspect were physically and sexually abused across 20 care homes. According to Police Inspector General Hassan Razaruddin, the victims, aged between 1 to 17, were said to have endured various forms of abuse, with some allegedly forced to perform sexual acts on other children. Children were also punished using heated metal objects, and those who were ill were not allowed to seek medical treatment until their condition turned critical. Police have arrested 171 suspects, including religious teachers and caretakers. The care homes are allegedly linked to a prominent Islamic conglomerate, which has issued a statement denying any wrongdoing. Police raids on Wednesday across 20 welfare homes in the states of Selangor and Negeri Sembilan were prompted by reports earlier this month of child exploitation, molestation, and sexual abuse at another facility in Negeri Sembilan state. Initial investigation found that many children were placed in these homes by their parents so they could undergo religious education. The raids come after police opened an investigation against the Islamic Global Ikhwan Group, GISB, business group over child exploitation. The police have since confirmed that the two cases are linked. A Chinese investment bank known for making some of the biggest deals in the country's tech sector during its heyday has revealed it received a massive bill for 78 million yuan related to the disappearance of its star banker, Bao Fan. The request for payment from unspecified Chinese authorities only deepens the mystery surrounding the whereabouts of Bao, who founded boutique investment bank China Renaissance in Beijing in 2005 and made it one of the top deal makers for Chinese tech firms. He helped broker the 2015 merger between two of the country's leading food delivery service, Meituan and Diaping. In February 2023, China Renaissance reported him missing amid a wider anti-corruption crackdown. A year and a half later, no official charges or allegations have been made against Bao. Last summer, The Economic Observer, a state-run financial publication, reported that Bao had been in the custody of the country's top anti-graft watchdog, the Central Commissioner for Discipline Inspection, since his disappearance. He was said to be involved in an investigation into suspected corporate bribery. In the Americas, rock legend Jon Bon Jovi has been praised by police for helping a woman in distress who was on the ledge of a bridge over the Cumberland River in Nashville, Tennessee on Tuesday night. The Metropolitan Nashville Police Department shared a video of the Bon Jovi frontman and his team who were at the John Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge when the woman was standing precariously over the Cumberland River. Bon Jovi, 62, who appeared to be in Nashville shooting a music video on the bridge, along with others, talked to the woman and helped her come back onto the bridge. Bon Jovi walks the woman and, with the help of another woman, got her back on the pedestrian walkway on the bridge. Other people walked over to the woman after she is safe and Bon Jovi embraces her in a hug. A few minutes later, the police footage shows Bon Jovi leaving the bridge with her. Hurricane Francine has plunged over 330,000 homes and businesses into darkness and triggered widespread flooding after making landfall on the Louisiana coast and moving inland. The storm hit Morgan City as a Category 2 hurricane at 5 o'clock p.m. local time on Wednesday, bringing winds of 100 meters per hour, according to the National Hurricane Center (NHC). Following the hurricane, a flash flood emergency was declared for New Orleans, where between 6 and 8 inches of rain fell. Both Louisiana and neighboring Mississippi have declared states of emergency, urging residents to seek shelter and prepare for the severe weather. A tornado watch is in effect for parts of southeastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southwestern Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle until 6 o'clock a.m. local time on Thursday. All flights in and out of New Orleans Airport were cancelled for Wednesday, and several coastal parishes in the state are under voluntary or mandatory evacuation orders. Additionally, some schools and colleges have been closed. Oil and gas companies operating in the Gulf of Mexico, including ExxonMobil and Shell, have evacuated their staff and suspended some operations due to the storm. In the United Kingdom, Scotland-only oil refinery is to close by the summer of next year with the loss of 400 jobs. Durotoye said the closure of Grangemouth was due to it being unable to compete with sites in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. The company said the decision would safeguard full supply for Scotland by converting the site into a terminal able to import petrol, diesel, aviation fuel, and kerosene into Scotland, but would require a workforce of more than 100 employees compared to the current 475. The company announced last November it intended to close the plant, but union leaders had hoped the facility could remain open to provide time for a green alternative to be established at the site. It is understood that the refinery, the oldest in UK, is currently losing around $500,000 a day and is on course to lose around $200 million in 2024. Durotoye said they expected the new hub for finished fuels to open by early summer next year. The company said it has invested more than $1.2 billion in the refinery since 2011, while recorded losses of more than $775 million during the same period. In the Middle East, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees says 6 of its employees have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on a school it runs in central Gaza. Gaza's Hamas-run Civil Defense Agency said a total of 18 people were killed in Wednesday's strike on Al-Jaouni School in Nuseirat refugee camp, which is being used as a shelter by thousands of displaced Palestinians. Israel's military said it carried out a precise strike on terrorists planning attacks from the school and that it had taken measures to avoid harm to civilians. It also noted that it was the 5th time the school had been hit over the past 11 months. Hamas, which is proscribed as a terrorist group by Israel, the UK, and other countries, has denied using schools and other civilian sites for military purposes. Video of the aftermath of Wednesday's strike showed hundreds of people inspecting the heavily damaged ground floor of one wing of Al-Jaouni School, as well as the remains of an adjoining structure that appeared to have been destroyed. Other footage showed ambulances bringing wounded men, women, and children said to have been wounded in the strike to Al-Aqsa Hospital in the town of Del Bala. Civil Defense spokesman Mahmoud Basal said on Wednesday night that 18 people were killed, including UNRWA staff members, children and women, and that 18 others were injured. In related news, Israeli forces have killed at least 4 Palestinians in the occupied West Bank as Israel's biggest military operation in the Palestinian territory since the early 2000s entered its 3rd week. According to reports, 3 people were killed in a drone attack on a vehicle in the city of Tulkarem on Wednesday evening, while another was killed by an Israeli sniper in the Farar refugee camp near the city of Tubas. The Israeli drone attack on Tulkarem set fire to the vehicle as well as a nearby home. And in Farar, the Israeli sniper killed 46-year-old Sufyan Jawad Fayez Abdul Jawad after shooting him in the heart. The killings took the overall death toll from Israel's large-scale militarized operation launched in the West Bank on August 28 to at least 50. The figure included 5 people who were killed in an air attack on 2 birds early on Wednesday. Now talking sports, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has signed a new 3-year contract, extending his tenure with the club until 2027. Arteta's previous contract was set to expire at the end of the current season. Appointed in December 2019 to succeed Unai Emery, Arteta was previously an assistant coach under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. He secured his first major trophy as a manager by leading Arsenal to an FA Cup victory at the end of the 2019-2020 season. The club is expected to officially announce Arteta's new deal before the upcoming North London derby against Tottenham on Sunday. Under Arteta, Arsenal has finished as runners-up to Manchester City in the Premier League for the past 2 seasons. The 42-year-old is focused on guiding the team to their first league title since the 2003-2004 season. Arsenal currently sits in 4th place after 3 matches this season, with wins over Wolves and Aston Villa and a draw against Brighton. As a former midfielder, Arteta made 150 appearances for Arsenal and also served as the team's captain during his playing career. Before we go, here again are the highlights. The Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, PCN, has shut down 666 unlicensed medicine shops in Kaduna State for operating illegally and breaching the National Drug Distribution Guidelines. The United Nations Security Council adopted a draft resolution on Wednesday that extends the sanctions on Sudan until September 2025. In the Americas, rock legend Jon Bon Jovi has been praised by police for helping a woman in distress who was on the ledge of a bridge over the Cumberland River in Nashville, Tennessee on Tuesday night. That was the world news on Radio Afinju. To view our channel, please follow us on Facebook, Radio Afinju, X, Radio Afinju, and YouTube, Afinju FM. You can also stream us live on Zeno FM at Radio Afinju. My name is Durotoye. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.